This is KTVO's Good Morning Heartland.
And welcome back. Do you have a room inside your home you need to or want to repaint, or maybe you're painting on the outside, but you don't know where to start? Don't worry, we have you covered. We have Nick Oliver from Lancaster Lumber here this morning to give us a lesson in Painting 101. How are you doing?
Wonderful.
Great. So what's the most important thing you should do before you start painting a wall?
Probably hire somebody to do it because it's not much fun. Just get all the stuff cleaned out of the general area, tape it off, plastic up stuff you don't want splattered, because things get splattered that you don't intend to be splattered during the process.
And a lot of time when you go to a paint store, they always ask what kind of primer do you need. Is that really important to prime all your walls before you paint?
Well, on a new wall, or if you're using a darker color over a lighter color, it's pretty important. I mean, if you're going over with similar colors, it's not such a big deal. But if you go over like new drywall, you go over like the joints and stuff, they'll flash through if you don't prime them good, and you'll see glare forever through it that you'll just never be able to get rid of.
Okay, and what about paint? There's different types of paint, so what's the best to use for indoors?
Probably the best is like this medallion. I brought our top of the line, which is fairly expensive, 35, 40 bucks a gallon, but it'll cover a lot farther and it's going to last a lot longer, be a lot more durable as far as cleanup and stuff goes.
And there's different types of paint. Scott, do you know what I'm talking about when there's the different...
That's why we have him here.
Yeah.
But
But when it comes to, like, you know, satin and all that other stuff, is there a different type of... I guess I don't really understand what I'm trying to...
4 basic sheens: flat, satin, semi-gloss,
That's what I was trying to get to. So does it matter? Like, is there a specific type that you should go for?
When you get to real ultra premium paint, it's more of an issue is what you want for what to look like. If you want it to be shinier, or if you... semi-gloss and satins are typically more durable if you go in like a cheaper paint or something, and they're going to be more scrubbable. But even the flat and stuff, when you get in a real high-end paint, it's going to be cleanable and scrubbable.
All right.
We sell a lot of the eggshell and the satin because a lot of people don't want anything very shiny and they don't want it real super dull.
Right. And you said it's easy to clean off too if
Yeah.
something gets on there. Let's talk about paintbrushes. Obviously, there's millions of them out there. Are there certain types that are better than others?
What we sell the most of is this. Well, for latex-based paint, because for latex you want a polyurethane bristle, then you don't want a polyurethane bristle in anything oil like a deck stain like that, because it'll just run off of there. You'll wear more than you get on, but
so you have to
like
pay attention to the type of bristle you're getting with the paint. Okay.
Something like this Worcester Silver Tip isn't a real expensive brush, nice and soft, really absorbent, and that's like $6.50. I mean, we sell a lot of those even to guys that paint for a living, but you can buy a $20 brush, but if you're not a professional painter, you're probably not going to enjoy it much more than the other.
And what about the rolls?
Rollers, and then the biggie, don't buy the cheap 6-pack you see at the store, because those are crap usually. I mean, they're good for certain things, like for putting on roof coatings and stuff, but something like this, which is a bigger nap, you want to kind of match the nap to the wall. So if you got a lot of texture, you want a bigger nap like that compared to
Interesting.
this one.
So
with the smaller nap.
don't buy the multi-pack one. You want to go with these ones because
Unless you can find a premium one in a multi-pack, which you don't normally see, because these aren't real expensive. But
and I've noticed I've painted before when I have bought, because I wanted to save money, the multi-pack where like 6 come in a roll. And after literally like using it once or twice with the roll of paint, I had to take it off and use another one because it just got
they're
nasty.
usually pretty miserable at putting on the first coat even. And if you're going to pay $40 for a gallon of paint, $5 for a roller cover is not a big deal.
Interesting. And then the thickness,
well, if you got like textured walls, that's for like a smoother wall. If you got like a textured wall or textured ceilings or something, you need a bigger nap. But
interesting.
That way you can get paint where it belongs instead of rolling for hours to get 2 rollers.
What do you have over here? What's this?
Oh, that's a deck stain applicator, which is kind of a nifty little.
Oh, so if you want to stain your decks for the summertime?
Yeah, and it'll adjust. Well, it's got a spot for the pole to go into, so you aren't stuck on your knees doing it, and then.
So you don't have to be on your hands and knees.
And then that thing will.
Interesting. And so what does this do? You put this in the stain that you wanted to stain
and then just run them right along the deck boards.
And gives that smooth finish.
Yep.
Did you use something like this for your floors?
Yeah, actually, because if you use like something like this, the material actually come off when you're staining or polyurethaning, right? It'll actually show up in the polyurethane.
Yeah, and then
you want to use something like that.
And it's really hard to get a good smooth coat because everywhere you stop, you're gonna see it usually.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And of course, everybody who's ever painted in their life before always gets paint stuck on their hands, their clothes, or even in unwanted places like on the floor. And you have these cool little wipes that you can use that you say that you had dry paint on, and you said you tried everything, nothing worked, and these literally took them off with.
And it was like a dried, hard rubberized coating. It wasn't just regular latex paint. It just peeled it right off of there. smell nice and orangey, or
I hear baby oil works well too. If you don't want to buy that, use baby oil.
I'll be greasy and oily all day then. Though.
Well,
You had $1 for every time, right?
I'll look like a pig out there in the sun. I'll just be.
Well, thank you so much. All very important and valid information. What we'll do is we'll post all of this on our website at heartlandconnection.com, as well as Lancaster Lumber's, and we'll be right back.